It's a doozy. Those were his mother's words as she sat with him looking out the living room window. His father called it a blizzard. Palmer called it rotten luck. It could have snowed on Christmas, the day he got his new sled, but it didn't. Nor did it snow the next day or the next, or any day for the rest of the year. Vacation days, no homework days, days that could have been filled with whistling plunges down Valentine's Hill, were filled instead with hateful frowning at a cloudless sky. The new sled was a classic polished wood, red runners, steering handles. It no more belonged on the living room rug than a Maserati belonged in a stable. On New Year's Day, Palmer's father said to him, "You know, I swear the weather plays games with people. Every time I decide not to take an umbrella, that's when it rains. Maybe snow's on the way. Maybe we can fool it. Why don't you try putting the sled away like it's spring and sledding's over for the year?" Having no better idea, Palmer dragged his sled down to the basement. He had touches of his own. He took off his shirt, wiped his brow, and said, "Whew, sure is hot out these days. I can't wait to go swimming." He put the sled in the farthest, darkest corner. "We won't be needing this thing, that's for sure," he said, and covered it with an old blanket. He stacked cardboard boxes on top of it. He saluted, "Adios, old pal," and walked away. This was mid-afternoon. At dinner time, he looked outside. He could not see stars. By 7 o'clock, the first thin flakes was falling. He stood at the front door and cheered, "Snow!" and brought the sled back upstairs. The next day was the last day of the holiday vacation. He expected it to be still and white and waiting for sleds. Instead, he awoke to a blizzard thrashing his window pane. He looked out. The world seemed to have come to an icy boil. He could not see to the end of the backyard. He ran downstairs. A car, molten snow, was stranded sideways in the street. The howling wind flung itself at the house with a fury that frightened him. Even his mother shuddered beside him as she repeated, "A real doozy. I might as well chop up in my sled." Pollard grumped. She graped an arm around him. "Well, look at the bright side. If it's too bad to go sledding today, it'll probably be too bad for the buses tomorrow anyway. But you'll have a snow day." She was right. January 3rd was a day for snowplows and snow boots, snowballs and sleds. It seemed like every kid in town turned up on Valentine's Hill. All day long, Palmer, Beans, Mutto, and Henry made a quadruple-decker sandwich as the new sled sailed and resailed down the slope. The day was as a crimson sun fell below the rooftops when weary and happy Kid dragged his sled back to port. Before going downstairs to dinner, Palmer took a moment to look out his bedroom window. He never cared much for scenery, but the scene outside touched something within him. The setting sun seemed to have ladled its syrupy light over the crusted snow, so that ordinary housecarls in backyard, in this fading movement, seemed a spectacular raspberry dessert. When his eyes fell to the porch rooftop just outside his window, he saw the four-toed imprints of feet etched into the snow. A good thing there was no homework or Christmas vacation, for Palmer could never have managed, as he was sound asleep by 8 o'clock, and stayed that way until he heard the tapping. This was unusual. His mother never bothered to knock in the morning, but came right in. "Who's there?" he said, his eyes still closed, his voice barely working. There was no answer. His eyes opened. It was daylight. "Come in." The door did not move. Had he been dreaming? There, again the tapping. It was not coming from the door. It was coming from the window. Palmer was suddenly, sharply awake. Why would the guys come now, in the morning, before school? He got out of bed, raised the window shade, and froze. It wasn't Beans. It wasn't Mutto. It was a bird. More to the point, it was a pigeon.